Okay, I'm gonna watch some French league right now. It is Montpellier versus Tours. I don't know. I'm probably pronouncing these wrong. It's French. And wait, that's Italian. What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Uh, the only names I recognize are LeGoff and I don't know. Maybe Pascal, but it might be a different guy. Dimitrov. I might have seen him play before. I think I've watched this team before. But then for tours, the only person I know is Mike Marshman, who is an American middle. But I mean, the French league's really impressive. Like, I mean, they have some really good players, really good teams, pretty competitive this year as well. This guy, Strelao, that's a nice swing right off the bat, though. If you can take that swing right off there, right off that first point, love it. But float serve, not bad. I don't know. I like the French league though. I think they stylistically, I think they're doing some really cool things. Like for example, this pass right here. Like I don't know who this is, but I mean, it's just like he cushions the ball really well. He obviously disconnects his hands. You can see it. He obviously like lets go of his platform pretty early, but it's still pretty much a perfect pass. Like these guys do some really cool stuff. That's Mike Marshman right there. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. Actually, Mike Marshman, this middle right here, I appreciate him because when I was figuring out like, oh, what my deal was, if I was gonna, wow, what a block move. Hello, big block move. Look at that. That's how you max out your physicality on a block move. Wow. And then soft block. But when I was figuring out if I wanted to come play pro or if I wanted to stay in college for another year, like what I was looking into and stuff. I actually texted Mike Marshman and got his number from a friend, and he told me some stuff, eased my mind, gave me some advice with looking into agents and stuff. So it was pretty cool. He's a very nice guy. I've never met him in person as far as I remember, but really good. And like against LeGoff, if you can get soft touches like that, that's beautiful. But again, like I've said this before, if you're setting this ball, look how fast it comes out of his hands. Like it's going fast. He's got to pick it off. And like if the golf if LeGoff leaves that alone and doesn't touch it, it's still it's gonna go through that window. And like this kind of stuff right here, I think is beautiful and like used really well in the French league as well. Is like throws, tips, swipes, stuff like that. All the messy stuff that you might some people don't like. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. If you take this swing and you get a soft block like this, you just kind of have to shrug it off because hey, like you can't really expect anyone to cover the last few feet of the in the court, and it's not a bad swing. You're swinging high, so you can't really be mad. You gotta accept it and be okay with it. This guy, he's taking some nice swings. I like this lefty. I don't remember who he is, but I like him. I don't know. I think these guys are pretty good. That ball dies inside. Let's see what he does here. He tips. He still puts pressure on. See, like this ball dies inside. If he swings at this, he's probably getting roofed. Okay, because I assume that middle is pretty good. He obviously closed the block, and like it's a pretty big block that you're going against. So there's no point in him tipping on a bad ball like this. Okay, I just posted well, at the time that I'm recording this, I just posted an Instagram reel about like risk analysis. Like if it's a bad set, then just put them under pressure. And like in that play that we just kind of went over. Nice dump, by the way. But in that play that we just kind of talked about, he tipped it to put some pressure on because he's like, okay, I can't take a swing here. He put some pressure on, and it still scored. It still dropped. So like you can't be worried about, oh, I gotta get kills. You're gonna get kills if you're constantly putting pressure on in different ways. You're gonna get a ton of kills, bro. Ooh. Like maybe spacing from the net. Maybe just higher. Slight misconnection there. Ball stays alive, though. Standing block. He's got long arms, so it works out. It's good close by the middle, though. Maybe it's a little bit too high of a ball. Maybe it's got to be a little bit faster if he's able to close like this. Because if he's able to make this shuffle move and still close that block, then it might be a little bit too slow. You might not be able to, or you might not be putting enough pressure on the middle blocker there. And fast doesn't have to mean low. Okay. Flat doesn't have to mean low. Like if it's that's a pretty high tempo, pretty slow tempo. That middle's able to close that block pretty easily. But like if it's a faster set, it can still be like the point at which the dude's hitting it, like the window, doesn't have to be low just because the set is faster. You know, like there's a difference between the path of the ball and the target of where it's gonna hit. You know, so like if you're a setter and you're getting reps, that's something you want to focus on. Maybe just have someone watch it. Like if you're getting reps, if you just have someone just watching the path of the ball and be like, yeah, that looked good, that looked pretty flat. Or like one thing that we did at Damon, the one in my last year, was we had computers in a person's hand. Well, 2 computers in 2 people's hands. And we had a live feed, or maybe, it was either a live feed or maybe like a second delay, whatever, of the gym camera. And so we kind of like talked about like, okay, this is the tempo we want, this is the arc we want. It's got to be pretty much hitting this line. If it goes over that line on the wall, then it's like too high. And I feel like that really helped the setters like feel out the tempo and really get into a really good rhythm with it. Oh yeah. Always ready to just jump and score. This is what I think short court can teach people, is just like, okay, it's a weird situation, I'm going to go up, I'm going to put it down. You know? And I don't know. I like LeGoff. I hope he gets this ball right here. No, he does not. But I like him. I mean, he's done some really cool stuff. Obviously, he's a gold medalist. He's a large human. He gets some serious blocks. Probably one of the best blockers in the world. I mean, he's huge. I don't know. I haven't really looked at how he travels across the net, though. I feel like he's a well-balanced middle, though. Like, really good at attacking and blocking. But who knows? Ooh, hello. Gosh, this kid. I don't know who this kid is. Strelao. I don't know who he is, but he's hitting some balls. He's getting up, and he is hitting some balls. I like it. Keep an eye on him, because he's kind of nice so far. Yeah, and like, I don't know much about Strelao. I really don't. But like, so many super athletic kids get roadblocked because they are a passing liability, you know? And like, I assume that this guy's passing pretty well. You know, he actually had a pretty good ball earlier, but like, if you're an athlete and you want to keep going to the next level, dude, don't let your passing hold you back. Don't let how unclean you are on the ball hold you back from being really, really good and being on the court, you know? Because as a coach, even if a kid is 7 foot with a 40-inch vertical, I mean, I'll find a way to put you on the court, but like, if you want to be an outside or something, but all you can do is just jump high and hit hard, you can't pass. Yeah, look at that LeGoff. I think what LeGoff does, like, then you're not gonna, like, it's gonna be hard for me to keep you on the court if you're making a ton of mistakes because you're just unclean. But look at how aggressive LeGoff makes his move here. And let's see if nice, that's really nice. Yeah, LeGoff, he's a big blocker. He's a great blocker. Yeah, if I had to draft a team right now, LeGoff might be one of my middles that I draft. Probably is. He probably is. I'm trying to think. I mean, Brazilian middles are really good too, but think of who else. I mean, I'm biased, so I love me some American middles too, but maybe Kofi. I know he's Canadian, but still, I think he's Canadian, right? I think he's Canadian. I can't remember. Is he from California? He went to UCLA, but I don't know if he's from California. Look at the spacing, though. Right here. Look at how far over LeGoff is taking this route here. That is baffling. Huh. It's really far. It kind of spaces out the court interestingly, though. Because then there's two guys almost right on the top of the pin. Weird. I don't know. This is the only thing, though. Like, if he's making a move like this, sometimes, like, this is a very toolable block. You know, just so much space. So much edge is exposed. You don't want people to edge you. You know? Like, right here. This is where it's a little bit too much, though. Because then, yeah. Because then you just don't know whose is whose. Like, I feel like that's LeGoff's ball, but he just doesn't, I don't know. A little bit too much confusion. You want to space out those routes, not just so then the blockers have a tough time, but also to help your hitters out, kind of deciding of whose ball is whose. But that's not the main point of it. Ooh, hello. Yeah. If you're a big blocker who's maxing out his physicality like this, you got to press really hard. And like right here, if this guy just reaches towards the ball and reaches toward where he's going to contact this ball, like if he reaches forward to that ball instead of sharp and tries to get over here and like get into the space where the ball is going to travel, reach toward the spot where he's going to hit the ball from. Like if he's reaching towards here instead of over into a bunch of empty space that he might hit into, you're just limiting your ability to block that ball, because it's basic math. It's basic geometry, okay? You know, like if I'm hitting the ball here, okay, the ball's right here. This is the ball. My fist is the ball. Ooh, hello. Nice swing back, LeGoff. But if the ball's right here, my hand's right here, there's really no space to go around it. But then if I'm going to swing over here, okay, yeah, maybe I get it. But, you know, like reach towards the ball. You know, and there's going to be certain situations like this where it's just like even if he he is reaching towards the ball, but like even they might still swing around you, you know. Obviously it was out, but still. Like if you're really jumping as high as possible on some of your block moves, like you're going to be able to reach towards the ball a lot better, and that's how you're going to get more blocks. You know, and that's what I've noticed so much playing. Love this stuff. This is a lot of the French league right here is just doing stuff like that, and it ends up scoring. But playing beach has taught me a lot about blocking. Playing beach and playing grass has taught me a lot about blocking. And like if I was a defender, then it'd probably teach me more about defense. But I mean, it still teaches me some stuff about defense. I still do some other stuff, but I don't know. If I could recommend something to you guys to do in your summers, find beach as much as possible. Play pickup every single day and play in tournaments every single weekend. You know, like you're going to have to sacrifice some time. I mean, for the longest time, it's been a struggle trying to spend time with my family sometimes, because I'm always traveling on the weekends for tournaments or just playing in a tournament on the weekend, you know. So I'm definitely going to balance that a little bit more this summer, but you got to sacrifice some time if you want to be great, you know. Go to the top and like, yeah, this might be a little bit too slow of a tempo. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, with this slow of a tempo, it still lets this hitter go max out. And that's why, like, I feel like the tempo at this level with athletes doesn't matter as much as some people think. You know, like, oh, fast tempo. If I'm I'm an outside. I like being able to jump as high as possible, hit the ball at my peak, and make my own decision. If there's a double block in front of me, I can make some sort of decision to score on these guys. Like that right there. Okay, there's a pretty good double block in front of him, but he's able to choose, okay, there's a bunch of space right here. Sauce down the line. Okay? If they close the line, He can see it because it's high enough, and he can get it at his peak, and he can make the decision to swing cross. But with a super fast tempo, it limits your options. You're kind of at the will of the ball almost, where and even like this point right here is another example of just letting the dude go up, be big, swing high. You're gonna get more points. Like you want to challenge him on perfect passes. You want to challenge them a bit. So it has to be a move like this where it's like a shuffle move everywhere, because then they're slightly less athletic. But it's more so about just letting your hitters go up and make a good decision. If your hitters are really bad, okay, force them to hit a really fast tempo and just swing at the ball and hope to get lucky. But yeah, that's not my mentality whatsoever. I don't think that's the most beautiful form of volleyball. But hey, that's me. I am only in my first year of pro, and I've only played 4 years of college. Like I've only been playing volleyball since I was maybe 15, something like that. It is what it is. But this is kind of a good example of like reaching towards the ball. Look at where he contacts his ball, okay? Contacts this ball here. He's reaching towards the ball better than like if he was just reaching sideways like that, trying to get into the angle. Middles, however, you can't do this, okay? You can't really do this because you're not going to be close enough to the ball to reach it usually. But like right here, he's just reaching towards the ball, and he gets a good touch. He gets a really good touch off of it. Okay? Just because they don't dig it doesn't mean it was a bad touch. Not at all. This guy just made a really weird move. That's all. But like, yeah, like you saw that play right there. He reached towards the ball and got a really good touch on it, because it's just like, it's getting rid of so much space between the ball and your hands. Like it's eliminating space that they can swing around you, if that makes sense. Hopefully that does. That might be intuitive. That might be pretty obvious, but sometimes you just don't think about that stuff. But yeah, if you're a pretty athletic blocker, try to reach towards the ball, because you're gonna get a ton of touches because you're just close to the ball. It's easier. It's yeah, like the further away I am from the ball, the easier it is for that guy to hit around me. But the closer I am, the harder it is for him to hit around me. Like it's pretty easy, pretty obvious. I don't think I need to explain that anymore. Hopefully I can shut up now. Like this right here, though. Like I'd rather this dude be up, be physical, take a swing at that block. Like that's fine. Like it was a good block in front of him, but he's athletic. He takes a swing, Reverse flow, love it. And the tempo needs to be enough to where if they cheat somewhere, then it's a solo block or a broken double, I don't mind that block by that guy, though. I don't mind that choice. Like, leave a gap. Not bad. I don't know. Whoa. I don't know if you guys heard that noise, but my stomach just made a real cool noise. It's a good setter dump, though, way to get on top of that ball. If you're setter dumping, think about getting on top of it so you can bring it down. Obviously, you don't want to go into the nut, but yeah. This dude, yeah, like this right here, though, like, he's able to get up at his peak, and then he's swinging high. He's going to get a better point, But, like, also, obviously, these are two different dimensions, okay? See, this is a slightly worse touch. Looks like. Yeah, it looks like he still touched it. He's still getting good touches. But if instead of reaching over here, way outside of his body, getting into the angle, if he reaches towards this dude's hand right here, he might be getting this block. Sometimes it feels like you're so far away from that ball. Okay, sometimes it feels like you're really, really far away from the ball, but just trust it, trust the process, reach towards the ball. You're going to get more touches, more blocks. Promise. I promise you. You obviously have to be a certain athleticism. Like right here, if he blocks into the angle like this, thinking that the dude's going to go cross, then boom, it's going to go around him like that. But like if he would have reached towards this ball here and just went up and grabbed that ball, he would have stuffed the crap out of this dude. But instead, he swung into tried to block into the angle. Nah, man. You're going to get way less touches off of that. Montpellier is just dominating now. Wow. This dude's ripping his serves. Who is it? Elliot is ripping his serves right now. Luckily, they get one here. Let's see what happens. LeGoff, man. He is a giant. Let's see how he moves across the net. And look at how he swings his arms when he jumps too. Like he is maxing out. Look at how high up his arms are when he's jumping here. They're straight too. Like I think hitching your arms like this does limit your athleticism. It's like an inch difference maybe. But oh gosh, he's athletic. Yeah, and he might be on that one. He might have kind of gotten caught into the mentality of the higher I am blocking, then the better it is, but not every team has this middle attack this far over, but there's definitely some huge advantages to it because this middle, to commit with the middle, this blocker has to look, he's pretty much committing. He did commit. He committed on the middle, but yet he's still not even able to get close enough to him. And then it puts way more pressure. Instead of putting pressure on the middle, it puts pressure on this setter. I assume he's a setter. I think he's a setter. No, he's probably the right side in me. Yeah, he's the right side. But it just changes who you're putting the pressure on based on where you're running the route. Like right here, it's a very slight difference. Like maybe LeGoff ran it here, this guy runs it here. It's still putting pressure on this guy, but LeGoff is able to get much closer, much easier. And I don't know. I actually don't know which is more optimal. I think maybe it depends on your opponent, but yeah, maybe it should change game to game of okay, we really want to attack that setter. He's a really tiny dude, or maybe I don't know. Maybe you don't want to do that because the dude's huge and you don't want him anywhere near the ball, but whatever. Just depends. And if he's swinging back row, maybe my theory of just reaching towards the ball kind of is different, but yeah. Still, look at that pass. Who is this guy? It's a nice pass. Look how he just gets his body away from the ball, finds a good angle, cushions it a slight bit. Oh, beautiful. I like that run. Yeah. They really they do a lot of spacing over there, man. Lots of spacing. But this is another great example of just he puts the ball extremely high. This dude, he trusts that this dude can get his feet there, go up, swing from a high contact point from his peak, just go rip the ball. Ball's out of bounds. All right, we got 2-0 in the third set. Ramon, is that a different person? They call it a difference. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, they called him Ramon receiving it, but then they give him the attack. Whatever, who cares? Doesn't matter. Same thing though. Dude's at his peak. Doesn't matter if the dude closes or whatever. Just have to put some pressure on with the tempo. Obviously, if it's high ball, if it's an extreme high ball everywhere, everyone's going to triple, and that's going to probably be less optimal. But letting your players be as athletic as they can be, I think, is far more important than trying to put pressure on the block with speed. Some people might disagree. That's just my opinion. I would love to chat it out, but I think a lot of the coaches that I know who are huge fans of extremely fast tempos, they're pretty locked into their beliefs. And I don't know, it's hard to change a coach's mind about that, if I'm being completely honest. It's really hard to change coach's mind about that. I've tried with certain coaches. I've heard of other kids trying to do it too. It's just wow, it's tough. Goes wide. Goes why block? If he didn't go there, he probably could have got that block. I don't know. Y block has its time, has its day. But even with the middle tempo, you still want to let the dude reach. It's a nice spin to float. Maybe a little bit too soft. Maybe not enough. Maybe not deceptive enough though. Who knows? Look at that pass. Beautiful pass. Just bop. I mean, I don't even know. Like, it's just a good move. There's nothing really to say about it. It's just a good move. And then that dude gets blocked. Oof. Rough. So many teams are doing the rotation one weird stuff these days. You know, like having the outside pass from the middle or having the dude run behind everyone. Everyone's starting to do weird stuff these days. Perugia does it. These guys do it. I just watched a team. Who did I just watch? Cisterna does it. Who else? I think Allianz Milano has done it too. Yeah, they definitely have. I don't even know. I don't know. There's certain advantage to it, I guess. Like if you have a lefty or right side or something, then maybe, but. And then if this middle does go all the way over, then he has so much space over into this side of the court. So much space. And he just has to pick it off early to do that. He just has to hit a little bit earlier than if he was going to wait and let it get in front of him, you know? Be aggressive on that. Be aggressive. But he get his feet there. Calm. Good hand contact. If you're taking a swing like that, make sure you're focusing on your hand contact because it could get messy if there's no hand contact. Look at that side spin. Look at how he barely contacts it. Like he gets right on the side of that ball. And just, hello. Wow, that's a really good serve. Let's see what he does on this one. Again, a nice serve. I want to see this one more time. Wow. Really good pass, though. I don't know, the French league, man, they're diamond balls these days. They're diamond balls in this league. And then what's his name? I forget. Shoot. Whoever the server was, I forget his name. This is the only downfall, I think, is because then the dude can block in the same spot as he would if he was going over here. But I mean, it's not really like he was just waiting anyways. But yeah, Strelau, that server, really nice serves. He blasted two of them, then chose to go short serve. I think it's not bad. That's not a bad choice at all. And he got one back, so he went with another bomb of a serve. He finally sided out. little pop action, little fly action, whatever you call it. Drifting route. Gotta love it. You gotta love the drifting routes. I don't know. I haven't met a middle who is not a fan of them. And LeGoff, he bumps his other blockers, that's for sure. I don't know, man. I mean, the only thing I'd probably could critique is I think LeGoff might focus too much on like jumping as high as possible on some of his blocks instead of like making sure he's on time or closing the block. Sorry, I just drifted out trying to watch this play. Good ball, swinging high. I like this kid. Reisner. He's a lanky dude. LeGoff, you silly goose. They're serving well. Elliott. Good dunk. And this is a good one for Like if you're going against a middle who has a real tough time closing, like a lanky dude like that, or like someone who you watched film and you see has footwork like this dump is gonna work all the time. As long as that right side blocker or that setter closes to the line, but still, it's probably gonna work a good amount. Off the hands again. Out of bounds again. Let's see what you do, Palacios. Make that ball inside a little bit. And you know, as a righty, with a righty right side, you really can't miss that ball inside. It's just hard. It's just difficult to do the right thing when that ball's inside as a righty right side. It's like, I don't know, it's just harder to adjust that way. You know, like, I mean, I think he does it again here. Maybe it's a decent set, but obviously this dude is making 2 mistakes. That's his fault, okay? I'm not trying to blame the setter for that. No way at all. I'm not trying to blame the setter for that. But I'm just saying, I'm pointing out the fact that it's harder to adjust my footwork as a righty right side than it would be if I was a lefty outside or lefty right side. Like right here, it's easy because it, like, I don't know, it's just natural, I guess. I don't even know. It's just natural to go that way. And then open my body up that way too. You know, I feel like that's probably a big part of it, of why it's more natural. A little float, pops it up. Let's see, oh, right over the top, right over the path, and of course that dude bites on it. It looks for a very long time. It looks like it's going to the middle. Like yeah, beautiful. But like right here, you see he gets his feet here, and then he has to jump inside, like drifting inside, you know, and that just makes it. It's a slight difference, but it makes it harder to take a good swing off of that, you know. LeGoff. Oh, give it to him on it. You know, and honestly, like running this far, having this route be that far as well, it also spaces out this pipe pretty well. Because then it's this guy running over here to take care of these 2 guys, and then this guy has all of this to swing into, you know. Real nice, real nice. And I feel like, I mean, if you have a pipe hitter that's really not great with range, I feel like that's an important thing to get them to have that middle not be up there. It's just a good swing. This third blocker here, he opens up his body a little bit too much here. See that? See how he opens his body too much there? His left shoulder is way closer to the net than the right shoulder. Not in this way, but like he's opening up like that. He's rotating up too early. You gotta hold it. You gotta hold that. You gotta hold your shoulders parallel to that net as long as you possibly can. As long as possible. Ooh, yeah, LeGoff. And he goes hard, man. Like every block move he makes, he goes hard, which is very, very respectable. And I mean, it definitely gives him a lot of good opportunities and touches. Of course, he reverses the flow there. It's a good choice. What are they complaining about? I don't know what they're yapping about. And these guys have had to pass 4 for, I mean, most of the game, honestly. They've passed 4 for a lot of it. I mean, if you're a right side, you're thinking, oh, okay, cool. I never have to pass. Not true, bro. It's really great for your team if you could step in sometimes, you know, because you're going to face some really big servers. You're going to face some teams that just go on runs with you, and or like your one of your outside teammates is struggling, you know, like you're going to want to make sure you're an option to help. And I mean, I'm respecting LeGoff so much if I'm that middle blocker too. But like again, look at the footwork. Okay, the dude takes 2 steps, 1, 2, and jumps goofy footed. And then look at where he is when that ball is getting contacted. He's not, yeah, like he's nowhere. He's nowhere near that. Obviously, it's in system. You know, maybe I'll try and look and see if he's making good moves out of system. But just be like, this footwork is natural because he's going to his left and it's like a normal approach footwork, you know. Good block by him. But then let's see if they get an out of system one that goes to the outside. I'll try and remember. LeGoff. He's just contacting it so high. He's got really long arms. And he goes hard. Like I said, he goes hard, man. He does his thing. I don't think that's Mike Marshman, is it? No, Mike Marshman's the other middle. Oh, yeah, good dunk. That's not LeGoff, is it? Yeah, this whole thing is all messed up, but who cares? Out the pipe again. Good choice. Again, I mean, I've said this before, but you got to be able to hit with range. You got to be able to swing out of the 6. On the pipe, on the outside ball, you got to be able to swing out of the 6 no matter where you're swinging from. Okay, that's right. Bro, I don't know. Okay, maybe it is. Yeah, okay, Mike Marshman right there. Okay, let's see. Whoa, missed it high. Yeah, what happened there? You know, footwork for setters is also extremely important, you know, because you're going to have to do some sprinting and then getting your feet squared up to a certain way. Like, you're going to have to do some footwork work. Way to get on top of that ball, just throw it down. Hands on it, throw it down. They're fully out of system. It's crazy. And let's see what happens here. He just presses a little bit late there. Lets it go by. Great dig, though. And like I said this in the last video I've made, you really got to, as that off blocker, you got to be locked in and you got to work on it. And like, you got to hustle to go up there and get a good dig. You know, like you got to work hard to either, once you realize you're not blocking, sprint over, cover tips, or once you realize you're not blocking, sprint over and really good joust here, and sprint over and get a dig, get a normal dig, get a sharp cross. Let's go, Mike Marshman on LeGoff. Look at that. Yeah, look at the spacing on it. And like, it looks like it's an outside ball, so this setter jumps with the outside. I mean, honestly, that's like that's maxing out that deception of the routes. Huh. Haven't really thought about that much before. It's very interesting to see it though. Like, even this one right here, for a second it looks like it's going to the middle. Lots of good digs right now. They're playing some good defense. Somebody went in the net, though. This guy's a good server. I'm glad he's on the line. Let's see what he does. One-on-one. Why? He's going with the middle. Yeah. And, like, if you want to isolate this guy with this guy, because late game, that's who you want to use, running this route consistently in the game's going to hopefully set that up for you, you know? It's going to get you one-on-one late in the game. And so you can time that for yourself, but same thing. I have a very big problem with this footwork. Obviously, it needs to be quick, but in the time that it takes for him to take these weird 2 steps, he could cover more ground if he had better footwork. Not trying to cook this dude, but it's just one specific thing. Like, you gotta kind of accept that challenge too. If you have some bad footwork going a certain way or whatever it may be, you gotta accept that challenge and be like, okay, I gotta, like, it's gonna feel weird at first, but I need to do this because I'll be better with it, you know. Oh yeah, it's a good swing. He's got a good arm swing though. I really like his arm swing. They're ripping serves, man. This is a serve and pass battle. I love it. Serve and pass battle with some scrappy defense. It's good stuff. But then it just turns into, you got to turn digs into point worthy swings. It's a nice swing off the triple block, aiming purely for hands. We got 15-13. And again, I've said this before, but you always got to be ready to go up and take a swing or throw it down or something like that on a tight ball. Even on, like, if you're back row, like, sometimes it's gonna be a quick ball and you got to take a swing. French. The French, I feel like they use the recycle, of course, but I feel like other leagues use it even more, like maybe Poland, stuff like that. I like the French style of gameplay though. I think it's good stuff. Let's see. And you've seen twice in a row now, these guys are running away. Like I really like how this guy turns. Like I said, kind of footwork. He turns, runs towards the ball, gets himself there, and then squares up. And then just uses his hands to put up that really nice ball. Hopefully there's another situation like that, because I would love to look at somebody else's footwork and see if they do it. In that defense, the guy also turned and ran outside. Okay, is it that guy? No, that's Mike Marshman. Mike Marshman doing his thing. Just chips right outside. And on like a out of system ball like this, I don't know. Out of system, I would always say, especially if you're doing a triple block, always close the line. Okay, always close the line. That doesn't mean that if the ball's super inside, then you stand on the pin and then jump straight up. No, just like seal the line so that they don't have enough space to go around you on the line or chip it off you. Like, it's hard for them to chip it off you. They would have to swing out of bounds to chip it off you, so it's a little bit riskier. Yeah, because you're expecting your guys' block to be huge and be taking up so much space, so that like there's no point in leaving the line open. Drifty route. Love it. This, Libero dishing the butter over there. I like it. Let's see. Okay. We got 20-20 in the fourth set. Finishing out here pretty soon. And again, I think this is the same type of forward, but he runs, he gets there, and then sets his feet, gets up there, jumps, and then sets it. It kind of went through his hands a little bit weird, but I'd say I still think that's the correct footwork. I don't know. I feel like not too much is talked about with that. But like, if you're a setter, you don't want to be shuffling down laterally the whole time, or else you're just gonna be drifting away. So like, look how he sprints towards the ball, gets his feet there, jumps straight up. Oops. Sprints towards the ball, not sprints, but goes right towards the ball, squares up, then he sets. Slight footwork, that's stuff there. Short ball. Ooh, good save by Mike Marshman, or the other guy. No, the other guy. Good stuff. Wow. Look at that. Look at this swing here. Okay, he has to get off. Ball's real weird. He's starting from here. Look at how far he has to travel to jump. Like this step right here needs to be like this off, like where you go off of this foot needs to decide, this step needs to decide where you get your feet to, so that you can get your feet to that ball and jump straight up. It can't be he takes 2 steps and then he has one more step to get his feet to the ball. No, it needs to be that antepenultimate, that third to last step needs to get you to the ball, so that you have 2 feet to the ball, so that you can jump straight up, instead of 1 foot to the ball, or like 2 super spread out feet and then you're jumping towards the ball, whatever. You need to use that anti-penultimate step, that third to last step. You need to use that to get 2 feet to the ball, take a good swing. Like, I mean, in a sense, right here, same type of deal. Okay. See how he's here. He sees the ball's inside, off of this foot. See, I'm looking right here, by the way. Off of this foot, he gets his feet inside a bit and jumps. Boom. I'm gonna have to look at setting footwork sometime too, just so that I understand it a bit better, so I'm not just talking on my butt. It's a nice tip. It's a great choice. Late game too. Why not? Why not? Spin serve. Ooh, hello. Okay, pass. Wait, I don't know. Huh. I like this guy just going for it, man. Just going for it. Strellau just going for it late game. No fear. Make live or die on him. You know, I don't mind that at all. Ooh, hello. Tours starting to do some stuff here. Let's see. I think they lose this. But let's see what Montpellier does to win it. Looks like they went in the net. Somebody went in the net. I think it was a blocking sub too. I like this guy, Strellau. Taking swings, taking high swings late in this game. Pretty clutch. This is the only thing. I think his footwork with his blocking is beautiful. Like, look at the aggressiveness with it. He gets his feet to the ball, jumps straight up for the most part. But then he's reaching away from the ball. And then he gets tooled because of it. You're just giving them opportunity to hit you where you don't want them to, you know. Like, if I tell you to run around me, but then I'm super close to you and I'm just grabbing you right away, that's difficult. That's more difficult than if I'm 10 feet away from you and I say, okay, run around me. That's way more easy, you know, because then you can just sprint a certain way. I got to cut you off, you know. But if I'm right there with you, it's tough. Big spin, Strellau dimes it. Back here. Ooh, good touch. Wow. Defense, man. Defense wins championships. Let's look at this blast play here. Okay, it's a good swing. It's a really good swing. Off the hands here, deep. He's locked in. He's balanced on contact. He hits a little split step there. He's balanced on contact. And then explodes towards the ball. Pops that ball high. In system. Boom. This is a really nice, like, I mean, what a dig to put it right on the setter's head too. Like, the setter took one step maybe. And then just puts it up right in rhythm with that right side. Boom. Big swing too. And look at the sharpness of this swing. Okay, it's a really nice cross. Boom. Bang. What a game. French League, baby. Thanks for watching, guys.